Hello, good evening, televiewers. You are welcome to another edition of Prime Hour on My Media Prime. We're glad to be in front of your screens once again to discuss on very important issues touching on the lives of Cameroonians. We are going to discuss two topics today. One, touching on the controversial video of a lady who is said to have been buried alive in Guzang in Momo division around Batibo of the northwest region of Cameroon. Equally, we are going to be looking at the caption of the Guardian Post of yesterday, asking whether the called national dialogue was not a trap for PM Dr. Dion Gute. We look at whether Dion Gute is going to be the man of the moment, and whether things are going to turn around so that Cameroon finally gets back to normal ways. We are discussing these two topics with our panelists in the house. I am welcoming for the very first time Aslam Jodia. He is a militant of the CRM party. Bonsoir et bienvenue.
Thank you, sir. Merci de m'avoir invité et bonsoir comme ça à tous les millions de téléspectateurs, n'est-ce pas, de My TV Prime, n'est-ce pas. Bonsoir à mon copanéliste, bonsoir à tous ceux qui nous écoutent depuis la maison. C'est un honneur d'être ce soir avec vous pour partager, n'est-ce pas, sur la thématique dont vous nous avez conviés.
Equally in the program with us is Apostle Ambe Valentine Ngwa. He is a man of God and very interested on analyzing political issues. Good evening and welcome, Apostle.
Good evening, Mr. Kum. Good evening, my co-panelists. Good evening, televiewers. You're welcome to Prime Hour, a time where very controversial issues are dissolved, they are diagnosed and explained for the audience and our televiewers to get a clue of what is happening in our beloved country, Cameroon. You're welcome. Thank you for the privilege. God bless you.
We are waiting for Rudolph Lunga. He is on his way to the studio. Equally waiting the arrival of Prince Joel Obaka. They all have indicated that they are on their way. They are going to be joining us in the course of the program tonight. We start with the video that is very, very controversial. We've had the SDO for Momo making a declaration on that. Equally, the divisional officer for Batibo subdivision, and this evening we are getting information from the Minister of Territorial Administration telling the governor of the Northwest region to get down to Momo division, fish out whosoever was behind that act, and ensure that the corpse, where the corpse of the buried lady is exhumed for identification, so that clarity is made in the country. Now, Apostle Ambe, when you saw that video, what went through your mind?
Thank you, Mr. Kum. That video drove everyone that I have seen, inclusive me, crazy. We were very, very disappointed and frustrated for such an inhumane act, such a gruesome act being meted on an innocent lady. When we initially saw the video, we condemned it with every energy in us. And later on, we started having findings and making inquiries to find out the people who could be that wicked to carry out such a gruesome act. And we made some findings, and even though the points are not actually clear for now, there's a lot of mix-up as far as the video is concerned. Because I, for one, watched the video. The person was shot and later on buried. And the person was asked to cover the face on the floor. And the person was shot. And after the person was shot, they buried the person alive. And the guys who were around refused to show their face on the camera. I have a fear that that video has a lot of controversy because we do not actually know the perpetrators of that crime till now. But as the days are going by, the president or the Minister of Territorial Administration has sent a team of workers to go and make sure everything is being done effectively to find out if people carry out such a gruesome act. We are all disappointed with that act, whether it was the military or the secessionists who carried out the act. In no way is such an act supported. We condemn it with every energy in us.
Ok. Certainement, vous avez vu la vidéo. Je ne sais pas si vous avez vu.
Oui.
Quelle est l'appréciation que vous...
Déjà, Léonard, je vais d'entrée de jeu vous dire que au MRC, nous l'avons, et je préfère le dire ici, parce que généralement, on nous taxe, n'est-ce pas, d'un parti proche de cette barbarie qui se passe dans cette région. Nous avons toujours condamné. Et ce n'est pas possible. Et c'est la raison pour laquelle même nous nous battons dans le champ politique aujourd'hui, parce qu'il est important pour nous qu'on arrive à mettre un terme à cela. Donc, c'est d'une barbarie hyper choquante. Et donc, qu'est-ce qui s'est passé? Qui réellement a fait cela? Et pourquoi? Et pour quel objectif? N'est-ce pas? On a fait cette vidéo, on a posté. Nous n'en savons rien jusqu'ici, mais nous restons dans une démarche où nous disons, nous ne voulons plus de ça. Et c'est pour cela qu'au MRC, nous nous battons pour que, plus que jamais, ces choses, ces atrocités n'arrivent plus. Parce que ce sont nos frères, ce sont des Camerounais qui meurent. Et si nous ne portons pas ce combat, nous qui avons l'opportunité, avoir la chance d'être vivants, et de dire, n'est-ce pas, haut et fort, et le payer comme nous le payons en ce moment, avec les emprisonnements et autres, je ne vois pas qui d'autre pourra le faire à notre place. Donc, nous ne pouvons pas et nous ne cautionnerons jamais ces actes. Maintenant, quand nous faisons une analyse poussée sur le terrain et nous essayons de comprendre, alors il nous revient effectivement que dans cette crise au nord-ouest et notamment dans le camp de ce qu'on appelle les séparatistes, il semblerait, n'est-ce pas, qu'il y a désormais plusieurs équipes, plusieurs groupuscules et finalement ces groupes, à un moment donné, certains groupes, n'est-ce pas, n'agissent plus pour l'objectif initial, c'est-à-dire ceux qui militaient pour la séparation. Certains sont carrément des groupes de gangs, ont transformé ça en un groupe de gangs et de détournement, n'est-ce pas, et d'agression et de viol autres. Et ça, c'est des choses que nous ne pouvons pas accepter. Et donc, c'est comme ça les conséquences donc d'une crise pour laquelle le MRC se bat et va se battre, n'est-ce pas, pour que nous puissions mettre un terme à cela. Parce que si on ne se bat vraiment pas pour que ça s'arrête, aujourd'hui, cette pauvre dame qui malheureusement n'a rien fait du tout, maintenant, demain, à qui le tour? Donc il est important pour nous de se dire et de le dénoncer ici, et comme nous le dénonçons ailleurs, et nous devons toujours continuer à le dénoncer, pour que plus que jamais, ça n'arrive plus. Et donc, c'est dommage, c'est regrettable, et c'est pour cela que le mouvement pour la renaissance du Cameroun est à pied d'œuvre, n'est-ce pas, et milite, et travaille à son niveau pour que cette guerre s'arrête au nord et au sud-ouest. Parce que ce sont des familles, parce que ce sont des personnes, n'est-ce pas, proches de nous, des personnes qui n'avaient pas demandé, qui n'ont pas demandé, n'est-ce pas, à vivre cette situation de guerre. Et il est important donc que nous puissions nous mettre tous ensemble pour bloquer, pour arrêter cela. Parce que si nous ne le faisons pas, demain ça va nous retrouver. Et c'est pourquoi nous continuons à dire au mouvement pour la renaissance du Cameroun, non à la guerre au nord-ouest, au sud-ouest, non à des morts inutiles, non à une guerre inutile, non à une guerre, n'est-ce pas, sans suite, non à une guerre qui certainement ne va pas nous amener une solution par rapport à la crise. Parce que nous savons très bien, et comme Machiavel le dit, et comme M. Biya Paul aime le dire, n'est-ce pas, on peut faire la guerre quand on veut, on l'arrête quand on peut. Donc ces conséquences-là, ce que nous vivons sur le terrain, c'est une conséquence regrettable et il faut que les Camerounais se lèvent comme un seul homme pour pousser ce gouvernement, n'est-ce pas, pour ce gouvernement illégitime qui nous gouverne en ce moment, de mettre sur la table un dialogue sincère et inclusif. Parce que c'est ce dialogue sincère et inclusif qui va réellement amener la paix et ramener tout le monde à la maison. Parce que si ce dialogue se passe tel que ça se prévoit ou alors ça s'annonce, alors des cas comme ça, des exactions telles que nous avons vu cette vidéo choquante, des cas comme ça, nous sommes au regret de dire, nous risquerons encore de voir encore des cas comme ça dans les jours, voire des semaines, des mois à venir. Et c'est pourquoi nous tenons à ce que le dialogue soit sincère et inclusif, soit quelque chose de vrai, que les Camerounais s'asseyent et discutent sincèrement entre eux pour mettre un terme à tout cela.
Okay, we equally have just been joined by Rudolph Lyunga. He is a politician and an entrepreneur. Good evening and welcome.
Thank you very much, Mr. Neo.
We understand you were caught by traffic, but you are in here. We're beginning with the subject of the video making rounds on social and other media platforms of the lady who supposedly was buried alive. Very shocking and deplorable.
Very, very shocking and deplorable. Let me use your words. I say when I watched that video, I actually it was too emotional. And I felt really bad because these are situations that could have been avoided, you know, from the beginning. And now we cannot really dictate where this is coming from, and we don't even know what. There's nobody can stand up to even do anything that such things never happen again, because we are not sure that in the coming days we can still have another video that can be even be more shocking than that. So it's a situation that's very deplorable that we have led ourselves. I want to say we, because it's we should together take all the responsibility. We've led ourselves to go to the point where we can start having very inhuman acts that are being performed in one way or the other. So it's really shocking.
It's really shocking. But today we find both sides engaged in a very, very frontal propaganda game where the separatists say this was staged by the government. The government insists that it was done by separatists.
Yes, Mr. Kum, as at now, there is no verifiable evidence to prove that the separatists nor the government is either in charge of such a sacrilegious act. What I want to say is I got an information from the SDF chairman of Guzang that he's gone to the site, the presumed site where the act was carried. There was no grave there. Nobody was buried there. That's somebody who has done groundwork. The DO of Momo, or
the SD of Momo and
the DO of Bativo,
yeah.
Their reports equally says that there was no grave in the purported area. So as at now, we are not convinced if that act was carried there. There's one young guy also on social media called Kawakawa Yanegi said that act was carried out at Ngongam in Mamenda. So the story
it was a certain Yannick, not Kawa Yannick.
There was a certain Yannick.
It was Yannick, not Kawa Yannick.
He said it was carried out in Ngongam in Mamenda. So the stories are not clear. Everything is just mixed up. I want to be convinced with evidences to prove that either the separatists or somebody else or the military carried out the act, because a lot of atrocities have been going on right now because there's another faction of strange individuals who are carrying activities and labeling it on the separatists. And also, we are not saying that the separatists are exempted. They are equally part of the atrocities that are going on, but we should be able to identify the source of the challenge before we start labeling who is responsible and who is not.
Okay. I'm not sure the DO said they went and there were no graves. They said it actually took place, the DO and the SDO, contrary to what you just said. Yeah.
There was no grave there.
Yeah, but they said the acts actually took place.
I don't know where. How can they bury somebody where there is no grave?
I don't know whether they made mention of the grave. I'm looking for the SDOs and the DOs release. I would love to read it, but I'm going to get it. These are crimes committed on many persons which go unnoticed. Beaucoup de cas similaires se passent et que personne ne parle de ça juste parce que, ok, personne n'a filmé.
Oui, ce qu'il faut noter, il faut dire aux Camerounais est que, effectivement, la situation qui est au nord et sud-est, contrairement à ce que les gens pensent, est très grave. Est très grave parce qu'il y a effectivement beaucoup de cas. Parce que lorsque vous voyez le MRC se lever et dire non, il faut arrêter cette guerre, c'est que nous aussi, d'après nos sources de renseignements et un certain nombre d'éléments d'information que nous avons en notre possession, c'est une guerre fratricide qui est en train de décimer et de détruire des familles. Et chaque jour qui passe, n'est-ce pas, il y a des milliers de gens comme ça qui se radicalisent, qui se mettent, n'est-ce pas, en position de soutenir les séparatistes. Et donc, il y a beaucoup d'images que nous ne recevons pas, parce que dans certaines circonstances, parce que lorsque vous vous retrouvez dans une situation pareille, ce n'est pas évident de filmer, ce n'est même pas évident de faire des vidéos, mais l'information que nous avons, qui revient régulièrement du terrain pour ceux de nos frères et sœurs qui ont le courage de rester encore dans cette zone, ce sont des images hyper choquantes, ce sont des choses affreuses. Donc, nous avons vu au début de la crise, quand ces images avaient commencé, Nous avons vu beaucoup de personnes, notamment les soutiens de cette guerre, parce que les soutiens de cette guerre sont principalement au RDPC. Ça, je pèse mes mots, je le dis, je l'assume. Ce sont les militants du RDPC qui ont commencé de le départ à soutenir cette option de la guerre. Et aujourd'hui, nous en sommes là. Donc, il y a effectivement beaucoup d'images, beaucoup de vidéos affreuses que malheureusement nous ne pouvons pas. Ou alors nous n'arrivons pas à voir. Et c'est vraiment choquant. Parce que parfois, moi, je suis dans plusieurs groupes WhatsApp. Et parfois, comme ça, vous allumez le téléphone et vous retrouvez avec des images hyper choquantes que je ne partage pas du tout. Parce que ça blesse les sensibilités. Et donc, je répète et je dis, bon, ça rentre dans la deuxième thématique de tout à l'heure, c'est qu'il est hyper important, il est hyper urgent. Pour que demain, nous n'ayons plus ces vidéos, nous ne voyons plus ces images atroces. Il est hyper important qu'on rassure tout le monde, qu'on rassure, n'est-ce pas, les séparatistes, qu'on rassure tous ceux qui sont partie prenante dans ces conflits, de ce qu'on doit absolument mettre un terme à cela à travers le mécanisme de dialogue qui s'annonce. Parce que si tel que nous sommes en train d'observer tous, si les choses ne vont pas dans le sens de rassurer les gens, je peux vous rassurer que malheureusement, on a encore ces images, malheureusement, ça va encore nous choquer, ça va heurter les sensibilités, et c'est ce que nous ne pouvons pas soutenir au MRC, nous ne pouvons pas accepter au MRC.
Okay, these are war crimes that are being committed and crime against humanity going before the war, and seemingly nobody is touched or alarmed by what's happening.
Well, if you say nobody is touched, nobody is alarmed, it depends who we are.
Do we need many more people to be buried alive before something is done?
Well, we don't need that. You know, it depends on how we want to, who we are looking as we. The population of Cameroon has been crying for a very long time. This thing, they're talking about dialogue, which is coming up now, is something that people, before this woman was buried, we've seen people that were, beaten, heads were being beheaded. I mean, we've seen people that were burnt, we've seen villages and all of that. There have been acts that have been committed, which, to my opinion, have been really terrible. And people have been crying for a very long time. They needed us, the father of the nation to call a halt to all of this. And we're expecting, we're just trying to be optimistic with what we have on the table now, and to see if at all, I want to use a conditional word, if at all, this dialogue which has been called, something good can come out of it. So let's just be optimistic and see.
Now, are these crimes not so many for something to be done by the international community on both sides? Should they go on with impunity?
This crime, I will confess, is that it's not even strong enough to have attracted the international community.
Okay.
Worse crimes have been committed earlier than now.
In Cameroon?
In Cameroon. That was supposed to have attracted the international community. For them to come now, for me, is too late. The people are already dying in their numbers. They are maimed every day. They are beheaded. We have had terrible videos of somebody who is beheaded. We've seen cases of people who are being slaughtered. We've seen individuals who are being burnt in houses. And then if a woman is buried alive, there's nothing strange again, because gruesome videos have come earlier that this one will not drive us crazier than we have always been. I think the international community should not look at this video to come in. We're supposed to have been here earlier. We've called upon the United Nations, which I don't know, they are following diplomacy. Before they will finish following their diplomacy, everyone will be annihilated. AU is quiet. Totally in Africa is quiet. The only thing I've heard the AU said since the crisis started in Cameroon is that they welcome the idea of dialogue that the president proposed. I was on another media lately, and I said this thing is not dialogue, it's monologue.
Yeah, we are going to come to dialogue.
Yes, it's a monologue, because the people who are influencing, instigating the atrocities, you have not called their attention. There are many ways to catch a rat. It's as simple as ABC. If these guys are asking for separation, we may not give them separation, but let's give them attention and then make them understand the casualties that separation will bring to the country. Sometimes a child may demand razor blade from you. The razor blade is not good for the child. You will not refuse. You can't be pouring salt to the injury. Bring the child closer, show him the blade, and tell him that it's dangerous for your health. Don't just deny the child at the distance. The child will keep on crying, considering the fact that you don't even want to pay attention to the child. So I think the government is matured and educated enough to bring this issue on the table, deliberate on it, because people are dying every day. And the measures they are trying to take to solve the problem will only afflame the matter. So I think that the international community has not done us well. And we are grown enough as Cameroonians to handle our own problems. We shouldn't be dependent on the international community. Cameroon had a little problem with Bakassi, at the Bakassi Peninsula. We had to call United Nations. When are we going to start taking care of our own things as mature people? That's the reason why Peter William Botha in 1988 made a statement that the black man is not qualified for independence, because if you give him a gun, he will shoot himself. You give him power, he will practice bigotry, tribalism, and nepotism. So if we at this level, we cannot handle our own crisis within ourselves, we are calling for international community to come and do what? What are they coming to say? Is there a grammar they are coming to speak that we have not learned? Is there a French they are coming to speak we have not learned? Is there some history or economics or peace conflict management that we don't have experts in Cameroon to manage that we are calling UN? Was it because it's a white man that's the chairperson of the UN? I don't think we need UN to settle any matter here. We are grown enough to handle matters in our house.
Ok. Regardons ce qui a été fait à la femme. I don't know whether the video is available. If that video is available, let's have a watch at what happened in Guzan.
Face for down. Carry a balo go tamia. Turn.
Talk say no black no ever come for Kusa. Don't look me. Talk say no black no ever come for Kusa go free.
Talk, begin to come.
Keep your face so down.
I don't want to kill you so.
Show your face so down. Show your face so down.
Look down.
Show your face so down.
May your soul rest in peace. It's scatter peace. We don't, yes.
Show your face
so when you go for heaven, you go hear the word for day.
Nothing no ever do.
No, nothing they do we.
Who be you?
For country, you crazy. Send your hand. No me affairs no come out. Send your hand. Achayabo. Bien on go jam. Chabo no. Shemaya de boy do.
Shimo washing tum.
Nde what muka gunjim. Pum.
Na ku babo tell mo tum.
Claire. Claire.
Okandi.
Atmone right time, ubitmone right.
What money love? Okandi.
Enyi.
Okandi.
Enyi. Hey Claire. Rest in peace. Scatter peace. No go punish you. For your next life, you no go do that of life.
You shake me from to worry you. Be. No no come away this way.
Yes. Now so we go send for una. Una no say all the cases they wanna do, I'm not fake case them. Guzan they don't play with them. We've been there and echo. You clear? It's our next life when you go up, no ever try again that kind of life again. Huh? Yeah.
Ok. Vous avez vu ce qui s'est passé à Guzan. Même si vous étiez ce qu'on appelle blackleg, est-ce qu'il faut préserver ce genre de traitement?
C'est ça que je dis. Donc, si réellement ce qui se passe, ce sont ce qu'on appelle les séparatistes qui le font. C'est-à-dire qu'en réalité, ils ont déjà renoncé à ce qu'ils appellent la séparation, ce pourquoi ils se battent dès le départ. C'est-à-dire qu'en réalité, ils ne sont pas. S'il n'y a jamais, c'est eux. Mais comme je le dis, je l'ai dit tout à l'heure, nous avons les informations selon lesquelles il y a plusieurs groupes. Il y a plusieurs groupes qui sévissent dans la zone et n'ont plus le même objectif. Parce qu'à un moment donné, ce qui nous fait croire que c'est effectivement des brigands, des bandits, des vrais terroristes qui ont posé ces actions. Parce que généralement, ce qu'on appelle, moi je n'aime pas utiliser le mot sécessionniste, mais les séparatistes qui avaient au départ pris les armes et qui se retrouvent en bourse. Parce qu'il y a une analyse qui est simple. Lorsque nous avons remarqué que les populations, lorsque la crise avait commencé, et les populations, quand elles fuyaient pour leur sécurité, elles allaient où? Elles allaient en bourse. Et en bourse se trouvaient effectivement les séparatistes. Ça veut dire que les populations, elles estimaient que c'est auprès de ces séparatistes qu'elles ont plus de sécurité par rapport à l'armée. Parce qu'on se serait attendu à ce qu'elles fuient plutôt pour aller dans les casernes militaires. Ce n'était pas le cas. Et donc, nous n'avons pas vu depuis le début de la crise comment ces populations qui sont allées en bourse, comment elles sont terrorisées ou alors menacées par ces gens. Donc aujourd'hui, quand nous voyons la seconde phase, ou alors les nouvelles méthodes qui se produisent, n'est-ce pas, dans cette zone, tout porte à croire effectivement qu'il s'agit des groupes qui ne revendiquent plus, qui ne sont plus dans la logique de la sécession ou alors de la séparation dont ils se battent au départ. Il s'agit effectivement des véritables terroristes, des vrais bandits qui, effectivement, dans la situation où nous nous trouvons, où nous devons tous aller vers la paix, alors il s'avère donc qu'en posant ces actes, c'est vouloir démontrer que non, on n'a pas besoin. Je ne sais pas trop le message qui est derrière ces actes, mais ce que nous savons, c'est que ça va aller davantage. Dans le sens,
elle est considérée comme une traite.
Voilà, comme une traite, c'est-à-dire une passe d'armes, c'est-à-dire une négociation.
No, what they call generally blackleg, donc tu dénonces les actes.
Voilà. Exact. Et est-ce que ça ne peut pas aussi être l'image, ou alors ça ne peut pas être aussi une commande, n'est-ce pas, du tenant du pouvoir, dans la logique de démontrer que voilà, si nous ne faisons pas notre dialogue à la minute, ou alors si vous, communauté internationale, vous ne nous donnez pas le feu vert pour aller massacrer tous ces gens, regardez ce qu'ils font aux populations et autres. Vraiment, c'est une vidéo qui va viser beaucoup d'interprétations, mais l'interprétation principale est que nous doutons très fort que ce soit réellement, parce que si c'est les séparatistes anglophones qui luttent pour les sécessions, qui posent des actes pareils, ça veut dire qu'en réalité, ils sont même déjà en train de dire non, ils ont déjà carrément envoyé, n'est-ce pas, outre-mer, parce que personne, aucun Camerounais, aucun être humain sérieux ne peut accepter cela, quel que soit ce qu'il revendique, quel que soit ce qu'il, n'est-ce pas, cherche. Parce que cette pauvre dame, au-delà de tout ce qu'on peut lui reprocher, on peut estimer qu'elle est traître, je ne sais pas trop quelle qualification, je ne sais pas pour quelle raison même on l'a pris, mais en réalité, elle ne mérite pas ça. Aucun être humain ne doit mériter cela. Donc, nous disons simplement ceci, c'est des enjeux, c'est des vidéos à enjeux, mais c'est inhumain et c'est inacceptable.
C'est inhumain et inacceptable. Good evening to you all in the studio. I am Sony from Boya. The president to me has no set any trap to PM John Guti, but he thinks he is the best person to lay this crisis to rest. Okay, we are here to get to that topic. Good evening, Mr. Leo and the entire crew on board. The gruesome acts committed in Batubu should be condemned in its entirety. That is a shocking video, Mr. President. Where are you? There is genocide, hunger, starvation, and homelessness in the country. From Mr. Johnson, writing from Limbe. Good evening to you in the studio. No matter what she did, that was not the best thing to do. The spirit of that woman will haunt them forever. They have brought a curse to themselves. Nell is writing from Tico. Good evening in the house. I think the best dialogue is for the president to announce his resignation, because his persistent stay in power is the cause of the crisis in the mind of right-thinking Cameroonians. If we are addressing the dialogue from the roots, Mr. Bia is the root. Okay, please. Okay, Jidas is writing from Yaoundé. Somebody just raised the issue that whatever her crime was, that was not the best way to treat her. But another person says this also shows that we have come to a point where this war should be stopped.
I think we are all saying the same thing, because everything we can say here is just going to be hypothesis. We're just going to say if or maybe. It's these people are the cause. These people, we can blame the government, we can blame the separatists, we can blame. We're just bringing up suppositions. Let's see the root cause. What will make some people put a woman in a grave and then bury her? That is the root cause we need to address. If we are saying anything, what will make anybody put fire on a village and destroy people? What will make people to go and shoot and kill others? That's not how Cameroon used to be. This country used to be one of the most peaceful countries. But if people have gotten to that extent, it means there is a root cause. There is a problem. If you don't go and bring out that fundamental problem, we are going to see worse crimes than we are seeing now. So if we are taking this example, it's really, really deplorable. It's really, really, I mean, when I see this video again.
Now, when you talk of the root cause, we shouldn't address what is happening in Guza, in Batibo, and other areas, and then address what?
Address the root cause. Why are these people doing this? Now, there is a philosophy, there is an ideology that these guys have. There is something they've adopted which pushes them to commit such acts. So it might be counteract, like somebody is doing this, for example, what my colleague just said, that so it might be maybe even the government doing that to tag the separatists as some very evil people. We are doing a lot of maybes here. But why is everybody trying to do this to tag the others?
To justify a position.
So there is a problem which we need to tackle. If we don't go to the root cause, you can bring this dialogue and paint whatever, you can bring whatever solutions, you can buy humanitarian aids and give to the people, you can do whatever. If you don't address the root cause, this thing is going to go from one stage to another. And it might even, the problem with the Hutsis and Tutsis in Rwanda, it started maybe with some small problems. Very soon everybody is fighting against each other. You know, there are some people, it might just be even some tribal wars. They are just having themselves, and some people start killing themselves. So, I mean, I'm trying to be optimistic with what we are, for the next topic that we are about to indulge in. I'm very optimistic that we should address this root cause that we have in Cameroon and solve our problems.
We should address this root cause. But when we look at the video and then the propaganda war that has ensued, after the publication of that video, we discovered that each person wants to justify their position and then throw the blame on the other. What is very unique in this conflict in Cameroon is that nobody has ever taken responsibility for any act.
Crime.
That is what is lacking.
That is the challenge we have.
In the case of Boko Haram, they commit something, they behave people, and then they come out to say
they are the ones.
In the case of ISIS, we see them.
The same. Al-Shabaab.
In Cameroon, nobody takes responsibility for anything.
Nobody takes responsibility, and that is where the problem is. Because we do not even know who is a criminal, we don't even know who is a saint, we don't even know who is the angel. So who are we going to judge? Because until we identify the criminal, we cannot deal with the crime. Now, if at all the government is a criminal, and we are pursuing somebody who is not a criminal, it's going to cause a lot of rancor. And if the separatists are the criminals, and they are not being pursued, it will continue to amass and increase the pressure of this problem. My problem is not even the effects, because all this one is the effects. It's the effect of what was done. It's the consequences we are suffering right now. This woman would not have been buried if something did not generate where we are right now. So what I think my co-panelist was saying, that let us go to the root and trace. You cannot be dealing with the branch of a tree without tracing the roots of the tree. If the root is killed, the branch automatically will die. If we trim the branches, they may be cut off for a while, but they will still grow back again. Let's get back to the foundation. That's the reason why, if we want to stop this crisis, it's not to pursue these guys who are killing people. Let's go and solve the problem that pushed the guys who started going about killing the people. Because if at all we say we are Cameroonians and we have been called to solve problem in Cameroon, and then we are trying to apportion blames. They say, show me a man that is going to fail tomorrow is a man that blames others for his problem. Anyone that blames others for his problem is a person who has failed. Let us start taking our responsibility. The government is the sovereign authority in this country. And if something is not okay in a house, the government is supposed to be held responsible. If a man is in a house and things are not going well, they hold the man. If a car has an accident, they should hold the driver.
Okay, you think that the government should take responsibility over what is happening?
The government is the one driving the nation. If the nation's car is having an accident, then they should hold the driver, because he's the one that controls the steering. So if at all we have to stop this crisis, the government should take responsibilities.
This one says, Mr. Kum, make sure you read my comments. Let me read your comments. Ngo, writing from Kumba, it says, I am on ground and I must say, we shouldn't be calling Paul Biya's name when we commit our atrocities. We the civilians are responsible for all this evil. We civilians are responsible for Cameroon going wrong. The monster we created, which is Amber, is now feeding on us. Yeah, truth be told. Okay. Ngo, thank you for your message. We all condemn the acts, but we should also know that there are acts that the government has done, so we should stop playing the blame game and solve the root cause of the war. That is Fred writing from Kumba. Good evening to you all watching us from the Green City. Let me take 1-2 messages before we go for the break. My friend with okay, says nothing can justify these gruesome acts. We have taken the gun and given to the madman. Only God can help us now. Metuga James, writing from Kumba also. This one says, hello, good evening to you all in the studio. This is believable. That video is horrible. All we want is Mr. Beard to step down and give chance to the young ones. Thanks. Vic is writing from Yaoundé. When I see the video, I ask the question, where have our consciences gone to? I don't think nothing good can come out of that land again. I'm Eugene, writing from Yaoundé. That is the truth, sir. Okay, which truth? Tell us who is writing and where you're writing from. Good evening to you all there. The head of state has washed his hands like Pilate and said, PM, that is that is your Anglophone problem. Treat it as you want. Wow. Mama Liz Pouletin, writing from Kumba. He says, okay, that the president is playing Poncho's palette. We are moving over to the newsroom to follow what stories are making news headlines. When we come back, please don't go away. We are going to discuss whether the PM is the man for the national dialogue job. Is he going to succeed? Oh, like the Guardian Post puts it, it's a trap for him.
Being one of more than 200 majors of HipMat, I am proud of my success. It all began at HipMat.
I am a CEO. I coach and lead a team of salespeople. I don't hesitate to tell them the vision was planted and molded by HipMat.
Today, I stand on a pedestal of experienced and committed lecturers. The foundation was laid by HipMat.
For over a decade, HipMat's credibility and ministerial recognition have trained more than 15,000 professionals in business management and engineering from HND to BTech, MBA, and what have you. With an outstanding partnership with the University of Bamenda for BTech and MBA programs, our undoubted commitment to your show's success is a reflection of the future you painted. The Higher Institute of Business Management and Technology, HipMat, a university for professionals.
Seeking a career in agriculture? Consider St. Louis Higher Institute of Agriculture, where students can build their interest in various farming systems by tailoring their study of agriculture to production, processing, and marketing agribusinesses, making them job providers and not seekers. St. Louis Higher Institute of Agriculture offers relevant practical education developed and delivered by experts and teachers who believe in teaching by demonstration. St. Louis Complex also offers through its Higher Institute of Medical Studies professional HND in nursing, midwifery, physiotherapy, pharmacy technology, medical lab sciences, dental therapy, radiology, and ultrasonography. We are located at Bonaberin Double opposite Nestle. Contact us on 678-435-138 or 677-764-674. Access HIPS Higher Institute of Professional Studies is offering a platform for zealous young persons to procure an education of reputable standards to fit into today's competitive job markets. With effective bilingual education and 22 years of experience, Access HIPS offers HND, bachelor and master's programs in management, legal affairs, shipping, logistics and transport management, accountancy, and a lot more. Admissions are currently going on, and you can contact the numbers 652-971-020 or 679-441-072. Access HIPS, creating and molding professionals for quality jobs.
Good evening and welcome to the 7:45 Prime News on My Media Prime. My name is Genda Pelgin Blanche King. To begin the news, the Organization of Citizenship Funds have put to question the contents of President Paul Biya's National Dialogue. The members of Citizenship Funds were speaking at a press conference today in Douala, as Mechuga Stanley tells us more in the following report.
The press conference, bringing together civil society activists and political party leaders under the banner of the Organization of Citizenship Front, was to read the resolution of their open letter to the President of the Republic in response to his speech of September 10, 2019. As one of their preoccupations, the announced national dialogue has many unanswered questions as to who will be in attendance, as well as the exclusion of the consortium members who played a vital role at the start of the Anglophone crisis, amongst others.
Mr. President, while you address an invitation to all Cameroonian citizens to which we are hereby responding, you also made it clear a selected few will be at the actual dialogue event. In this regard, we have several questions. What are the criteria which will be used to select participants? Who will establish these criteria? In your speech, you have invited everybody, but you have also invited nobody. For this dialogue to be fruitful, the leaders of the consortium are one of the key groups which must be at the table.
The members of the Organization of Citizenship Front also disclosed that the national dialogue is a waste of taxpayers' money due to the absence of a strong political will by the head of state. Barrister Alice Com went on to condemn the monopoly of state affairs by CPDM militants.
If you read our constitution, nowhere you find the word CPDM. You have institutions like legislature, judiciary, executive, senate. We don't have CPDM. But even here, CPDM is invited as institution. You know, this is suspicious.
It should be recalled that the national dialogue has been slated for September 30th to 4th October 2019 in Yaoundé.
The general dialogue announced by the head of state is set to take place from September 30 to October 4, 2019 in Yaoundé. According to some critics, the supposed inclusive dialogue is not very inclusive, as it is evidently clear that separatist leaders or non-state armed group will not take part in this dialogue. Details of this and more in the following report. The date for the Grand National Inclusive Dialogue called by President Paul Biya has been fixed for September 30 to October 4, 2019 in Yaoundé. For 7 days, Prime Minister Chief Dr. Joseph Diangote has been consulting different groups, parties, and individuals on what to constitute the national dialogue. It should be recalled that President Biya said in a speech the military and separatists will be part of the dialogue, but the Prime Minister has not consulted any separatist leader or commander of non-state armed group.
J'ai décidé de convoquer dès la fin du mois en cours un grand dialogue national qui nous permettra, dans le cadre de notre constitution, d'examiner les voies et moyens de répondre aux aspirations profondes des populations. du Nord-Ouest et du Sud-Ouest.
The calendar showing those to be consulted does not feature some outspoken Anglophones and those fighting for the restoration of the independence of former British Southern Cameroons, now called Amazonia Republic. This omission, according to some critics, is a national error, and if not corrected, government will be laying a solid groundwork for a successful national monologue and not dialogue. In a recent show of love and concern, the 21st Motorized Infantry Brigade, led by its commander, Colonel Eyenga Severin, have paid a visit to the people of Bubafo village in the southwest region of Cameroon, donating didactic materials and encouraging children to go back to school. Ikome Christy Nuela, a southwest correspondent based in Boya, was there on a special assignment and brings back the following report.
Aside from providing free health services to the people of the Southwest region, the Action Civilo-Militaire Group has joined the queue to encourage pupils and students to go back to school. It was in Bubafo, a village in Jombe Penja subdivision, where the commander of the 21st Motorized Infantry Brigade, Colonel Eyenga Severin, led a mighty delegation to show the people of Bubafo some love and concern. Preaching the back-to-school message, Colonel Eyenga Severin says there is nothing as important as education.
Our children must go back to school. All of us are responsible for their education.
School items ranging from exercise books, pens, pencils, rulers, school bags, and other didactic materials were handed to the happy pupils and students in the area who could be heard answering yes to the back-to-school calls.
Help me to learn, help me to make education. I thank the people that have given this thing. Let them continue giving it. Feel better for this today.
It's going to help me to write inside in class. So I want to thank you very much for giving me this book and this bag and the pen and pencil.
The commander of the 21st Motorized Infantry Brigade added that stopping the children from going to school will mean opening doors to illiteracy, which is a cankerworm which must be fought against.
Children are the future of this country. And if they don't go to school, you just open the door to illiteracy and its consequences.
Equally present to corroborate the fine gesture by the military was the divisional officer of Tombel Subdivision Nyam Leonard, who came with words of encouragement and hope to the people of Bubafo, especially considering the fact that the President of the Republic of Cameroon, His Excellency Paul Biya, in his recent address, has promised a national dialogue to put a stop to the crisis once and for all.
And the message I have for the population is simple, that education is the key that opens all doors and every child should go back to school.
While pleading on the government of Cameroon to send in more teachers to the government's bilingual primary school Bubafo, which has as at now only a single teacher, some inhabitants in the area couldn't help as they appreciated the show of love, support and concern to them by the 21st Motorized Infantry Brigade. They pleaded on the military to keep up with such brilliant initiative in the days ahead.
You're watching the 745 Prime News on My Media Prime. In health news, May 2019, the 72nd World Health Assembly endorsed the establishment of World Patient Safety Day to be observed annually on September 17th. This health event had its first observation yesterday under the theme Patient Safety, a Global Priority. Our reporter Bokengo Kemia Worthy has the rest of the story.
No one should be harmed while receiving health care. On this first World Patient Safety Day, cities around the world are lighting up monuments in orange as a show of their support. Join us.
A patient safety is the absence of harm to a patient during the process of caregiving, avoiding, preventing and ameliorating adverse outcomes or injuries stemming from the process of healthcare. As endorsed by the 72nd World Health Assembly in May 2019, World Patient Safety Day was celebrated for the first time on September 17, 2019 under the theme Patient safety a global priority. With objectives such as raising healthcare awareness worldwide, establishing the need for patient safety as a global health priority, the day is set aside to bring together World Health stakeholders like the World Health Organization and the Pan-African Health Organization to jointly reduce unintended harm caused by healthcare. The lack of adequate healthcare laboratories, communication between hospital staffs and patients, unavailability of trained medical personnel, poor, dirty and dilapidated medical infrastructures, wrongly prescribed dosages of drugs as well as administration, amongst others, make up for the incidence of 134 million adverse events occurring each year in hospitals, contributing to 2.6 million deaths annually due to unsafe care worldwide.
A patient safety culture where the patient is a partner, where a blame-free environment is encouraged that allows errors to be reported and learned from, not punished.
Following the slogan for the event, which states, "Speak up for patient safety, to err, therefore it's not just human but life and a global health priority."
In sports, the doors are still to settle over rumors of appointment of Gustavo Augusto as the new head coach of the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon. His fake appointment came barely a day after Patrick Mboma announced his ambition to become coach of the Cameroon national team. Details with sportsman Mechuge Stanley.
Since the departure of Clarence Clyde Seedorf as head coach of the Cameroon senior male football team, a lot of dust is being raised as to who will be the new king in the den. Many Cameroonians have been clamoring for a national to end the top job, reasons why Henri Patrick Mbomandem on a French sports channel recently expressed his ambition to be the new head coach of the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon. The 48-year-old football juggernaut who donned the colors of fatherland from 1995 to 2004, scoring 33 goals out of 58 matches and winning the 2000 Olympic gold medal, the 2000 and 2002 AFCON titles, and the remarkable overhead goal against France in 1998, is counting on his rich experience to earn the top job. However, information went viral on Tuesday, September 17, 2019, on the appointment of 51-year-old Gustavo Augusto Puyet Dominguez as the new head coach of Cameroon's national male football team. 24 hours later, the Uruguayan gaffer came out to deny claims on his appointment. Speaking to online portal Kamedi Sport, Gustavo Augusto revealed that he has spoken with Cameroonian football authorities, but it's not a done deal. As past experience have it, knowing and having a new head coach is often than not very easy, as what is seen in the light is not what reflects in the appointment mirror. A clear example was in 2018, where Sven Goran Eriksson came to Cameroon to finalize the coaching deal with football authorities, but Clarence Clyde Seedorf came from the Blues as the new head coach of Cameroon. Whoever will be appointed to fill the vacant coaching office should bear in mind that Cameroon is the Brazil of Africa and football is likened to a religion.
With that sports report, we end today's edition of Prime News on My Media Prime. Thanks for watching. The news was produced by Ewane Eli, coordinated by Mechuge Stanley. My name is Genda Pelgin Blanche King. Join us tomorrow for another edition of Prime News on My Media Prime. The time is 7:45. Stay tuned. Prime Hour continues with Kum Leonard and his panelists. Good night. Higher Institute of Professional Studies is offering a platform for zealous young persons to procure an education of reputable standards to fit into today's competitive job market. With effective bilingual education and 22 years of experience, Access HIPS offers HND, Bachelor and Master's programs in Management, Legal Affairs, Shipping, Logistics and Transport Management,
accountancy, and a lot more. Admissions are currently going on, and you can contact the numbers 652-971-020 or 679-441-072. Access HIPS, creating and molding professionals for quality jobs.
Being one of more than 200 majors of HipMat, I am proud of my success. It all began at HipMat.
I am a CEO. I coach and lead a team of salespeople. I don't hesitate to tell them the vision was planted and molded by HipMat.
Today, I stand on a pedestal of experienced and committed lecturers. The foundation was laid by HipMat.
For over a decade, HipMat's credibility and ministerial recognition have trained more than 15,000 professionals in business management and engineering from HND to BTech, MBA, and what have you. With an outstanding partnership with the University of Bamenda for BTech and MBA programs, our undoubted commitment to your show's success is a reflection of the future you painted. The Higher Institute of Business Management and Technology, HipMat, a university for professionals.
Seeking a career in agriculture? Consider St. Louis Higher Institute of Agriculture, where students can build their interest in various farming systems by tailoring their study of agriculture to production, processing, and marketing agribusinesses, making them job providers and not seekers. St. Louis Higher Institute of Agriculture offers relevant practical education developed and delivered by experts and teachers who believe in teaching by demonstration. St. Louis Complex also offers through its Higher Institute of Medical Studies professional HND in nursing, midwifery, physiotherapy, pharmacy technology, medical lab sciences, dental therapy, radiology, and ultrasonography. We are located at Bonaberin Double opposite Nestle. Contact us on 678-435-138 or 677-764-674.
Welcome back. You're watching Prime on my Media Prime. We continue with our second topic for tonight, which has to do with the PM's capacity to deliver as far as the ongoing or announced national dialogue is concerned. I will start with you, the representative of the CRM movement in the studio with us this evening.
Yes.
I want to quote the Guardian Post. The Guardian Post describes what is going to happen as a comedy.
Voilà. Effectivement, si nous étions des journalistes, ou alors si c'est nous qui avions dit ça, on aurait pensé qu'on a prêté l'intention, ou alors on a prêté, n'est-ce pas, le flanc à Guardian Post. Parce qu'effectivement, l'analyse que nous faisons à nos niveaux et que lorsque nous allons en profondeur, n'est-ce pas, on est très proche de cette conclusion de Guardian Post. Parce que, figurez-vous, lorsqu'on nous disons et nous réclamons un dialogue inclusif, un dialogue sincère, un dialogue franc, c'est parce que nous savons que s'il y a jonglerie, alors ça ne va pas régler le problème dans la zone anglophone, ça ne va pas régler la question à ce niveau-là. Et donc, permettez-moi de faire un petit flashback historique pour vous dire et pour vous démontrer qu'effectivement, je ne serais pas, si j'étais Premier ministre, je peux vous assurer que je serais tenté de déposer ma démission. Je ne souhaiterais pas être à sa place à cet instant. je ne souhaitais vraiment pas être dans sa peau. Parce que lorsque vous faites un petit rappel historique, vous allez vous rendre compte qu'il y a eu en son temps, en 1961, lorsque le Cameroun, les deux Cameroun négociaient, n'est-ce pas, leur mariage. Il y avait Diongo Foncha qui était, n'est-ce pas, le porte-étendard de la communauté anglophone et qui avait effectivement été un très grand militant, n'est-ce pas, de ce qu'on appelait à l'époque l'unification des deux Camerouns. Et nous allons voir plus tard, lorsque Aïdjo va le pousser à la porte et lorsque Biya va revenir, n'est-ce pas, il va naturellement dire à Biya que bon, il est disposé, il a, n'est-ce pas, de l'expérience pour l'accompagner dans sa mission et surtout pour régler cette question. Parce qu'il faut le dire aux Camerounais, ça ne date pas de 2016. C'est juste que la crise a pris, n'est-ce pas, une proportion très élevée en 2016. Et donc, nous allons voir à la suite, à l'avènement de M. Biya au pouvoir, comment il va traiter Diongo Foncha par rapport à cette problématique et par rapport, n'est-ce pas, au rang, n'est-ce pas, qui était le sien. Il va être traité de sous-homme, il va avoir toute une humiliation. On va voir comment, dans la fin des années 90, il va aller comme ça dans l'anonymat. Et dans nos livres d'histoire, géographie et tout, c'est un très grand homme, une très grande figure de l'histoire politique de notre pays, dont on n'en parle généralement pas. Et donc, lorsqu'on va remonter après lui, après, n'est-ce pas, ce traitement qu'il aura subi avec Aïdjo et l'origine au renouveau, viendra en 91, n'est-ce pas, la fameuse tripartite. Et vous allez voir les résolutions, n'est-ce pas, de cette tripartite qui étaient tout aussi controversées comme le grand dialogue national qui s'annonce. Alors il y a quand même en son temps des résolutions assez intéressantes, n'est-ce pas, dans cette tripartite, notamment la question anglophone, la question qui nous rassemble ici aujourd'hui, qui fait mal aujourd'hui. Il y avait cette problématique et c'était le Premier ministre Sadou Ayatou, un francophone, qui avait conduit les débats de cette tripartite. Et donc, les résolutions mises en place, qu'est-ce qu'on a fait? On a trouvé un autre anglophone qui était Saïmon Achirachou, n'est-ce pas, qui va remplacer Sadou Ayatou. Et lui, il arrive, au lieu de prendre la chose, au lieu de se sacrifier pour la cause, qu'est-ce qui va se passer? Il va effectivement venir jouer juste un rôle de pyromane, un rôle de pompier pyromane qui exécute simplement les ordres, des instructions. Et nous allons voir durant tout le parcours qu'il va faire. Et c'est même d'ailleurs lui. Il y a beaucoup de frasques parce qu'aujourd'hui, même dans ce dialogue qui s'annonce, s'il n'y a jamais dans les personnalités anglophones, Saïmon Achidachou, par exemple, est cité à s'asseoir autour de la table. S'il n'y a jamais il est là, je ne sais pas s'il sera invité, ce sera une très grosse comédie. Parce qu'en son temps, il avait l'opportunité, en tant que Premier ministre, n'est-ce pas, d'aller dans le fond, de prendre le risque de dire que non, c'est quand même mes frères, c'est quand même mes soeurs qui souffrent, et les conséquences. Donc, il n'y a pas un seul homme politique sérieux qui a connu cette époque et qui vit de nos jours, qui ne peut pas dire que ce que nous vivons aujourd'hui comme, n'est-ce pas, comme des tueries ou tout ce que la vidéo qu'on a vue précédemment, personne ne peut dire que ce n'était pas prévisible comme que nous puissions aboutir à une situation pareille. Donc voilà un monsieur, c'est pas qu'il n'a pas pu, mais il n'a même pas essayé. Parce que s'il avait essayé et que le régime l'aurait peut-être remonté les bretelles, on aurait compris que non. Il a essayé avant qu'il n'avait pas les manettes. Donc ça revient à dire ceci, que le discours du président Biya le 10 septembre dernier, lorsqu'il dit que le pays, il y a une représentativité anglophone. Le Premier ministre a été toujours anglophone depuis les années 92 à nos jours. Et vous voyez donc, pour lui, ayant donné le poste de Premier ministre aux anglophones depuis la nuit des temps, pour lui, c'est un satisfait. Ça ne devrait même plus être un motif. Les anglophones ne devraient même plus en réalité se plaindre parce qu'ils ont un poste de Premier ministre. Or, lorsqu'on regarde le contenu de ce qu'on dit Premier ministre, parce que, souvenez-vous, le contenu, parce que il faut écouter le journal, ou alors le message qui est passé au poste national annonçant le discours. Il y a un grand décalage avec les consultations de Diongo en ce moment. Nous avons vu Diongo aller dans les zones anglophones tout récemment, en mai, n'est-ce pas, et dire: je suis venu porter le message du président de la République qui veut le dialogue. Et tout de suite, nous avons vu un autre anglophone qui est allé sur le plateau dire: on va échanger, sauf de la forme de l'État. Alors que Diongo sur le terrain a dit: on va discuter de tout, sauf de l'option de la sécession. Donc vous voyez comment, malheureusement, je ne sais pas si ces personnalités-là, si elles vraiment prennent en compte de ce que l'histoire est en train de s'écrire et que leur nom sera cité quelque part dans tout ce qui se passe. Parce que véritablement, quand vous voyez, à partir de ces actions, ces faits, vous comprenez que il est là simplement pour exécuter les institutions. Et vous voyez, et ce n'est pas évident. Et donc, le mécanisme qui est en place maintenant, connaissant la culture anglo-saxonne, qui est la culture de gentleman, qui est la culture des gens qui savent dire des choses vraies, de franc parler. Parce que, malheureusement, il faut le dire, je le dis toujours, puisque moi je fais dans un secteur d'activité où ceux avec qui je travaille ont la culture anglo-saxonne, comprennent facilement ce que je fais, n'est-ce pas, notamment le domaine digital, par rapport à ceux qui ont la culture francophone. Malheureusement, c'est les deux cultures historiques où nous avons hérité de la colonisation. Et c'est ça qui nous poursuit jusqu'à nos jours. Malheureusement, on ne peut pas. Donc, c'était juste une parenthèse pour vous dire qu'en réalité, on se serait attendu à ce qu'il joue au gentleman. Il dit exactement de manière franche. Mais voyez-vous, le calendrier qui circule, je peux, n'est-ce pas, sans être dans les secrets de Dieu, être convaincu que ce calendrier, on l'a rédigé, on l'a donné.
Okay, on va revenir. Why would the Guardian Post look at what is happening as a trap for the PM?
Well, let me try and get that first word, which was first, you said comedy, because trap, it means they are trying to see him fail. And but I think the word comedy is what I will buy and I will align with, because you are calling for a dialogue. The President of the Republic called for a dialogue. Dialogue, people have been craving for it for a long time. There is a problem in the country and people need to talk. People need to sit on the table and talk. But you are calling for a dialogue and then you are actually assigning the people that will sit for the dialogue. I mean, I heard somebody talking there and saying monologue. You know, it shows like it's a monologue. I am trying to buy with my colleague who just said something. He went back to history. Okay, before why I want to tie with the word comedy is because if you go back to history, you have a people which had a culture, the Anglo-Saxon culture. You had another people who were colonized by the French, and they had the Francophone culture. Now they are bringing the topics that I've seen that will be discussed. They talk about multiculturalism, they talk about education, they talk about the legal system, decentralization and all of that. See, we have been talking since the beginning of this program, from the past topic, about the root cause, the root cause of this problem. If you go and you want to even dialogue to bring out a solution and you don't address the root cause. What is the problem in Cameroon? Everybody calls it the Anglophone problem. Okay? That is a problem, the Anglophone problem. Why is it an Anglophone problem? Is it some people who spoke a language and others is it a linguistic problem? Is it a cultural problem? Now, if it's a cultural problem, is it a culture of a tribe? No. It's a culture of what we adopted from the colonial masters. This problem started with lawyers going out because they saw the judicial system, which is the judicial culture of the Anglophones, which was tampered with. They were not listened to. The teachers came out because the educational system of the Anglophones, which is our culture, also was not being looked up. And then all of these problems is what we have to sit down now and address as a root cause.
That is what has to be addressed as the root cause. Now, according to the Guardian Post, they describe what is happening as a comedy because those who have been consulted so far, 80% of them are Francophones to address an Anglophone problem.
Yes, I call it a comedy also because if you look at it critically, I see like another Fumban conference, another time of manipulation. Why? Because first and foremost, the PM is used as a tool to reach the Anglophone, not because he has a pass to settle this issue. Why do I say so? According to Cameroon's constitution, when a Frenchman is a president or a Francophone is a president, obviously the second in command is supposed to be an Anglophone, which means the president of the Senate was supposed to be an Anglophone, but there we have a Francophone. You come to the National Assembly, you have an Anglophone. The Constitutional Council, you have a Francophone. You go to the Secretary General of the Presidency, you have a Francophone. So if you want to analyze things chronologically, the PM stands around the sixth position in this country. And with all the authorities above him, he is surely working under the influence of his master. And he is bringing on the table what has already been decided upon. So there is no dialogue anywhere. It is an already arranged program they are just coming to present publicly. Secondly, we have a challenge with the government and the separatists. I want to clarify the audience to know that the Anglophone and the Francophone have no problem. No problem. The Anglophones have a problem with the government, and this government comprises of Francophones and Anglophones. So they should not attack the innocent Francophone masses and consider them as part of the problem. They are not the problem. And if the government is not sincere to handle things the way they are supposed to be handled, and they are still playing pranks, it's going to affect the economy continuously. Because you cannot be inviting people for a dialogue, and the people who are supposed to be the one to be addressed, they are not invited in that dialogue. And the whole thing continues, and the fight continues, and the maiming continues, and the burials continues, and the killing continues. Because why? The person in question who was supposed to be addressed has been sidelined out of the discourse. So to me, I think the caption by the Guardian Post is another comedy is 100% correct, because it is comedy. You cannot be sick of headache and they are giving you drugs for pile. The government is sick of separatist destruction in the country and destabilization. They should confront the separatists and be able to settle this matter once and for all. They are inviting political parties. We are not suffering a multi-partisan problem. They are calling 80% Francophones. We do not have a national problem. We have an Anglophone problem. We have a separatist problem. And if they do not want the nation to separate, then they should call the separatists and talk sense into them, reconcile with them, and make them understand the government stand, rather than inviting people whom I think will have nothing to solve as far as the crisis is concerned. I want to guarantee the people they have called for this particular dialogue, and the individuals, the people they have called for the dialogue, and where the dialogue will take place, if the separatists are not addressed after this dialogue, things will go worse. Why do I say so? When the Naira 10 were arrested and locked up, after their sentencing, about 3 weeks lockdown was declared. Who is controlling? The people obey the lockdown. We may pretend that the separatists are bastards, they are hoodlums, they are criminals, they are rascals, they are unidentified. No matter how much we ignore them, their impact is felt. Let's call spade spade. We may carry pride, arrogance, prestige that we are the government and we don't want to address certain things. If we leave these guys aside, we are still going to continuously suffer. Because why? They are the people engineering everything. School has shut down, not because teachers went on strike. The teachers went on strike and their problem was resolved. Courts were closed because lawyers went on strike. Lawyers have gone back to work. The crisis has not stopped. I think the government should be sincere to know who is giving them headache and address the things squarely so that we can be able to walk out of this mess, because it's ravaging the economy, it's bringing down things and frustrating children's education and taking away lives. So I think that dialogue is more of a comedy.
Okay, you think that it's more of a comedy. Quoi que ça soit, c'est quand même une crise anglophone. Qui la tâche a été donnée à un anglophone de voir comment régler ce problème. Le Premier ministre est anglophone.
Oui, permettez-moi de sourire. Oui, le Premier ministre est anglophone. Et c'est un problème anglophone. Oui. Et comme mon compagnon l'a dit, on se retrouve en train de poser les problèmes liés au bilinguisme, des problèmes qui n'ont rien à voir avec la crise. Et je me vous rappeler, avec les motifs ou alors les objectifs, les sujets qui vont faire l'objet du débat de ce fameux grand dialogue national, le régime vient lui-même de démontrer que ce qu'ils avaient appelé en son temps commission bilinguisme, multiculturalisme dirigé par Mafani Moussongue, l'ancien Premier ministre, est un échec. Parce que les sujets, n'est-ce pas, que Mafani Moussongue était supposé gérer, à savoir multiculturalisme, bilinguisme et vivre ensemble, on le ramène encore sur la table. Ça veut dire que cette commission a purement et simplement échoué. Donc en réalité, il devrait commencer par dire que, à faire le rapport en disant ça a échoué et voilà, on a mis à côté, on recommence. Donc aujourd'hui, nous disons ceci. Nous ne voulons plus de morts dans le nord-ouest et le sud-ouest. Et nous ne voulons plus de morts, pourquoi? Parce que les armes n'ont pas cessé, n'est-ce pas, de tirer dans cette zone. Et on ne peut donc pas, parce que le problème est fondamental. Le problème, il est là, il est réel, il est connu. Alors on laisse le problème et on gère ce qu'on appelle les problèmes de pacotille. Parce que nous avons dit au mouvement pour la renaissance du Cameroun que nous n'allons pas participer à ce dialogue dans ce contexte avec ces sujets. Parce que ces sujets, pour nous, sont des sujets bien que ce soit des sujets nationaux, mais c'est des sujets secondaires, des sujets
vous
de
étiez à la
pacotille.
primature.
Nous sommes allés à la primature ce jour, effectivement, déposer notre mémorandum, n'est-ce pas, qui contient nos préalables. Les préalables, n'est-ce pas, sur lesquels nous devons, avec lesquels, n'est-ce pas, une fois que c'est rempli, on pourra prendre part à ce dialogue. Tant que ces préalables ne sont pas remplis, ça ne sert à rien parce que ce sera une conférence ou alors un meeting extraordinaire du RDPC et nous serons allés, n'est-ce pas, associer notre image pour cautionner ou alors pour valider et crédibiliser cette opération. Donc, les sujets qui sont à l'ordre du jour, dont M. Bia a annoncé et qui a été enregistré, qui est publié, ces sujets ne vont pas ramener la paix au nord-ouest, au sud-ouest. C'est des faits, c'est des réalités. Le dire ne voudrait pas dire que nous sommes contre le processus de dialogue. Le dire ne voudrait pas dire que nous ne voulons pas la paix. Non. Parce que le problème est là, le problème porte principalement sur la forme de l'État. M. Biya lui-même l'a dit dans son discours du 10 septembre. Qu'est-ce qu'il a dit? Que lorsque la crise a commencé au nord et sud-ouest, c'était des questions de corporation. Et les enseignants et les avocats avaient posé des problèmes et lui, son gouvernement a apporté des solutions et il est allé au-delà des solutions, n'est-ce pas, au-delà des revendications de ces leaders de la corporation. Il est surpris de ce que les radicaux, les extrémistes prennent les armes et continuent, n'est-ce pas, à créer le désordre. Ça veut donc dire que le problème soit il avait pas connaissance du problème, soit il était de mauvaise foi, et nous pensons au MRC qu'il était de mauvaise foi, dans la mesure où cette crise, à l'époque d'Aïdjo, lorsque ça commençait, c'était lui. Lorsqu'Aïdjo envoyait des commissions dans le nord et sud-ouest pour, n'est-ce pas, écouter les anglophones, c'était le monsieur Bia, Premier ministre de l'époque, qui était régulièrement envoyé en mission dans cette zone pour écouter. Donc lui, il connaît profondément le problème. Il ne peut pas dire que on l'a ramené aux mauvaises informations sur le terrain. Et donc, le problème de la forme de l'État qui s'oppose aujourd'hui, et ce n'est que ça, et uniquement ça, c'est d'ailleurs même le seul point qui devrait être à l'ordre du jour dans le cadre de la crise anglophone. Parce que si ce n'est pas ce point, et s'il faut toucher d'autres points liés à, n'est-ce pas, la nation qui doit concourir à l'apaisement de la situation, alors nous pensons au MRC que le bilinguisme ne devrait même pas être ce problème. Parce qu'au Cameroun, le Cameroun n'a pas un problème de bilinguisme, le Cameroun n'a pas un problème de langue. Moi, je suis sur le plateau, je parle français, j'écoute anglais, je ne parle pas anglais, mais je n'ai pas un problème avec l'anglais, puisque mes enfants à la maison sont anglophones, parlent typiquement l'anglais. Et donc, à la maison, on s'accorde. Pourtant, ce n'est pas du tout un problème. Donc, la problématique, elle est là. Il faut, et ça, c'est même une autre surprise. C'est-à-dire qu'on doit régler, parce que l'objectif de ce dialogue, c'est de mettre un terme à la guerre au nord et sud-ouest. Mais nous sommes surpris que...
Si vous croyez qu'il faut mettre... pourquoi vous n'y participez pas?
Nous disons ceci.
Il faut libérer le professeur.
Nous disons ceci.
C'est lui qui sortira
pour
régler.
Nous disons ceci, n'est-ce pas? Que nous voulons mettre un terme à la guerre. C'est une réalité. Nous sommes sérieux quand nous le disons.
Non, mais vous dites qu'il faut libérer le professeur Maurice Kamto.
Comment vous pouvez... Puisque le MRC, qui est le porte-étendard du MRC, qui est le leader du MRC, qui parle au nom du MRC de manière légitime, qui a eu le mandat du MRC? Il n'y a pas deux personnes. Le président Maurice Kamto est celui qui a eu son mandat. Donc, nous ne pouvons pas nous asseoir autour d'une table sans le professeur Kamto pour parler du dialogue au nom du MRC. Ce n'est pas possible du tout. Et donc, le régime en face sait très bien que ce n'est même pas possible. Parce que si on va dans un dialogue dans ces conditions, c'est-à-dire que ce n'est même pas du dialogue ça. C'est-à-dire que je ne sais pas comment qualifier cela. Donc, notre surprise pour chuter, c'est que les personnes, ou alors, quand la crise a commencé, souvenez-vous, le consortium, n'est-ce pas, des avocats dirigé par Wombala, anglophone, et les enseignants. Mais quand vous regardez la liste qui circule, ils ne sont même pas invités. Ils ne sont même pas dans la liste officielle de ces gens qu'on doit même consulter. Donc, vous voyez quelle dichotomie existe entre ce qu'ils disent et ce qu'ils font. Donc, aujourd'hui, il est question vraiment de régler cela. Et aujourd'hui, ce que nous observons là, nous avons déposé un mémorandum ce jour au Premier ministre, n'est-ce pas, du Cameroun. Et nous osons croire qu'ils vont, de manière froide, lire ce mémorandum et avoir le courage, parce qu'il faut arrêter cette guerre. Sincèrement, il faut l'arrêter. Et je crois qu'ils auront s'ils ont le courage de lire notre mémorandum, nous avons des solutions concrètes dans ce dossier. Concrètes, parce que nous avons dit des choses vont se faire pas à pas. On règle la crise anglophone à part entière.
Donnez aussi. Now, my question to him was whether we are talking about Anglophones being excluded from the consultations, but I raised the issue that the Prime Minister himself is an Anglophone, so an Anglophone has been given charge to carry out or to preside over the national dialogue. But do you have the impression that he has a free hand to manage the affairs, to bringing it to a conclusion?
See, I followed an interview with, I think it's Bezonga or something, who was trying to place the role of the Prime Minister in Cameroon. And it's something really funny, because even in the interview, I think the journalist Thierry Gonga was laughing all through the interview, because he said the Prime Minister in Cameroon is actually a minister who arrives first.
Yes.
Yes, and it sounded funny, but if you want to look at the way Cameroon is governed, the Prime Minister is, I think, the fifth, but he's also a member of the executive arm. We have the legislative arm, we have the judicial arm, and we have the executive arm. And he has a boss, and he follows instructions that the boss is going to give him. Now, he might be an Anglophone, but he's an Anglophone in a regime. And whatever he does has to be what has been tailored in the regime, and then he follows the instructions. So, making giving the Prime Minister to be the moderator, because that's what he's supposed to do, to moderate this dialogue. Now, who are the people who are supposed to even dialogue before he moderates? I think that is where my colleague was saying, because the people that you have invited for the dialogue, they are the people who have their grievances. You go and invite people who are not grieved. And the right people that are grieved are not even invited. You are the father of a house, you are a polygamous man, you have 2 wives, 1 wife and the children are all angry, and then you want to make a dialogue in your house to solve the problem, and then you invite just the other wife of the children of the wives that are not grieved, and then you exclude the other one. Then you think you're going to bring peace in that house. It's something which is totally a comedy, as the Guardian Post said, because after this, people are going to talk about every topic except the topic that is causing problem in this region. You know,
so you think it's not going to be given a free hand because, according to you, he's just one of the ministers who comes first?
He has a free hand, but the free hand to do what? That's the problem. He has the free hand. They've given him, he's the moderator. He's going to be the person to tell you tell the other person to stop. But what is he talking about? That's the problem.
We've seen the pre-consultations that have been going on. We've seen the list of some of the opinion leaders chosen to come talk or give ideas as to how to better organize this. Do you think anything is going to come out from these pre-talks, or everything has been tailored already?
Everything has been tailored already. They are coming to announce to us what has been discussed behind bars. At the backstage, sorry. What has been discussed at the backstage.
We've seen the MRC presenting their memorandum today. We saw the SDF equally made some suggestions. We've seen a host of others. I'm sure the AGC is going to be received tomorrow. And you think it's just comedy?
It's comedy. Why do I say comedy? A player of a team cannot be the referee of a match. Chief Dr. Diongute is a player of the regime. He cannot referee a match played against the regime.
But he is an Anglophone.
What are you talking about, Anglophone? I have said that the government that the Anglophones are fighting are not Francophones only.
Yes.
We should be able to understand that we have the
that's
government that the Anglophones are angry with, and that government is not just Francophone. There are Anglophones in that government that people are angry with. They are angry with all the Anglophones who are taking side with the government to penalize and marginalize the Anglophones. So that's what we are talking here. That's why I'm saying that if Chief Dr. Diongute is the referee of this match, and is equally a player of the team, how do you expect him to blow a match against his own team? We should be sensible in understanding this thing. Number 2, what is the position of the referee? The referee is not the match delegate. The referee is not the chairman. The referee takes orders. That's the reason why it is possible for a referee to blow a match. They call him from outside and tell him that what you are doing there is not correct. So if I told Chief Dr. Diongute, I have given a statistics of this nation. Since Fonka Shan-Lores came out as the Speaker of the Assembly, that was a position that was given to the Anglophone as the second in command in this country. Since that time, Anglophones have been kept at the backside. I mean backside of the desert. Somebody can be on a seat, but somebody has influence more than him. You may consider the Secretary General at the presidency as somebody behind the Prime Minister, but I can tell you in this country, Ferdinand Gongok influences and controls the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister is just a ladder through which this government uses to reach the Anglophones.
You have no proofs to ascertain what you are saying.
We don't need to get into that. We don't need to get into that. Let's just brush about that.
Yes.
What I'm trying to make you understand is this: the person that has been kept as a mediator between the Anglophones and this government does not have the power.
Yes.
It doesn't have the power to make things work. Why? When he went out on field, immediately he came to power, tried to preach peace. Papa don't talk say, Papa don't talk say. As he was going out, bullets were flying in the air. That shows that it was the ranting of a dead horse. So I'm trying to make us understand on this platform that the government should be sincere, because when the president came and made his speech was that it was the teachers, it was the lawyers that came up. He has been able to solve their problem. If their problems have been solved, then another problem has come up. You solve this problem the same way you solve the teachers and the lawyers' problem. I have said that you cannot have headache and drink drugs for for leg pain and expect to be healed. And the arrogance is this: we are minimizing the separatists, we are minimizing the secessionists, we are looking low on them, but they are causing the atrocities. Whether we accept it or not, those people have gotten ground and they are influencing the people of the Anglophone section.
Okay.
The earlier we are humble enough to pay attention to them and be able to stop them, if we do not stop them, they will continue harassing and intimidating the entire nation. Neglect of a problem is not a guarantee that the problem is solved.
Okay. Many people have been submitting their proposals to the head of state. Some people are not opportune to go to the Prime Minister to be received. So some have written to us to read it. Maybe higher quarters may hear. One of such is Pa Lenya William. He is writing this from Kumba. He says contributions to the court dialogue by the head of state, President Paul Biya, from Pa Lenya William, Barombi, Mokoko, Bamuso, Ndian, Southwest region. He says, I have the honor, most respectfully, to chip in my personal views on the court dialogue. Congratulates the head of state for understanding that peace is really needed, and as such, he has called for the long-awaited dialogue, which is principally based on the Anglophone crisis. This dialogue will entail a heavy expenditure on our country's economy, and which its outcome is doubtful, as many participants in the dialogue will have different opinions of reasoning. On my part, I would have wished the President withdraw the idea of dialogue and replace it with decrees. After all, he has the yam and the knives. Such decrees should be: 1. Releasing all political prisoners connected to the Anglophone crisis. 2. Bringing back federalism. 3. Sending the army back to their barracks, but leaving the police and gendarmes to officiate their normal duties as previously. 3. Anglophones children schooling in other regions return to their areas of origins to fill back their schools and with receipts of payments of their present schools. And 5. That with this proposal, I believe the peace will return to normal without any criticism on the decrees. Grateful with the media's announcement to this proposal. So, Pa Lenya William, watching us from Kumba. You are watching us from Kumba. I am sure I've done my part to convey a message. We hope that the targeted quarters have gotten your message. This one says, for all these things that are happening in the Anglophone zone, who is suffering is the Anglophones, not the government. If they give and look down, who is going to suffer is the Anglophone, not the government. My father in the green shirt, think before you talk. For all the lockdown, what has changed? I will still say it again. The Anglophone crisis is in the hands of the wrong leaders in the diaspora. Okay. They have, okay, says the Anglophone leaders are divided. They have two presidents. You expect Mr. Biya to dialogue with who? The Anglophone leaders who work with the government are the ones who have caused Anglophone marginalization. We should speak the truth. Joe is writing from Tico. Okay. This one says, to me, those who say that the dialogue is a trap for the Prime Minister are just detractors. People just want to criticize everything. If it were a Francophone, there would have been a lot of talking. Maybe if it was a Northwesterner, then he would have been apt. What do people want? The people who don't want this dialogue to succeed might just be Anglophones. Why always say the separatists should be invited? Who is the leader of the separatists? The diaspora has separate activists who are all leaders, who don't even agree. Who amongst them should be invited? On ground, who is the separatist leader? Let the leader who show up so that he could be invited for the dialogue. You cannot invite someone who says he is not a Cameroonian and is already president of a ghost country. Who is separatist leader on the ground? If he is there, then I share too that he should lead a delegation to the dialogue. Okay, those are the messages of those watching us this evening. Good evening. Good evening. I'm Tanjong in Boya. The root cause of the crisis is the president's illegal long stay in power. The solution is he should step down and all his crafty ministers sacked and the evil manipulation of the form of the constitution of the state. Thank you. Okay, thank you too for your message. Greetings to you guys at the studio. It's hard to believe what I saw in that video. If we can do this to those we say we are fighting for, that means no one is safe, even if separation is granted. Thanks, Jennifer is writing from Yaoundé. Jennifer, thank you for writing to us. Let me take one or two more messages and then we continue with our discussions. Good evening to you people in the studio. I'm Saseboy from Mutengen. I like your program very much. I like the man of God, the way he talks because he says the truth, okay? Good evening, Mr. Liu and the panelists. The only way this problem can be solved is for the President of the Republic of Cameroon to call on Mr. Tshisekedi, Ayuk Tabe and co. and other members of the government on the table. As for me, since the Musonge Commission failed, the PM consultation will also fail. I'm Lawrence, writing from Kumba. Good evening to you all in the studio. Prime R. God bless the man who is speaking. We need this type of people to stand for the truth. He is a God-fearing man from Kumba, Barombi native. Nurse Ngotabi. Let's pray for God to give the Prime Minister wisdom to chair this dialogue. Let us pray for the nation Cameroon. Greetings to you all in the studio. Janet is writing from the Green City. Good evening, Liu. Seeing the PM heading this dialogue and consulting the same CPDM people the Anglophones don't like, I'm seeing it's a failure. He should be wise. Eugene is writing from Yaoundé. Hi to the studio. For me, the life of Anglophone lies in Dion Guti. I'm David, writing from Likumba. Mendy, writing from Malende, that is in Moyoka. Good evening, Mr. Kum. People should not think that President Ayuk's sentence has anything to do with the revolution. Okay, Mendy, gotten. We continue with our discussions with you. Monsieur Aslam, vous avez vu ceux qui doivent aller comme les leaders d'opinion. Tu crois que c'est ceux-là qui doivent apporter les problèmes, ceux qui ont été invités pour l'instant?
Déjà, on dit le Cameroun, c'est un pays, c'est la curiosité planétaire. C'est-à-dire que c'est un pays où c'est ce que vous n'avez jamais vu, entendu parler quelque part sur la planète Terre. Je vous assure, au Cameroun, vous pouvez l'entendre, vous pouvez le voir. Parce que depuis quand on décrète ou on fabrique un leader d'opinion? Un leader d'opinion, c'est quelqu'un qui a parti de ses opinions, n'est-ce pas, qui converge ou alors qui rassemble les gens autour de ses idées. Si en dehors, parce qu'aujourd'hui, présenter le clergé, cardinal Toumi, comme un leader d'opinion, alors qu'en réalité c'est un homme d'église, c'est quelqu'un qui prêche le message de Dieu, c'est, je ne sais pas ce qu'ils appellent leur définition, peut-être la définition du dictionnaire de l'opinion, peut-être ils ont une autre définition. Ce qu'il faut noter, c'est que si aujourd'hui, parce que le gros problème, et c'est ça que ce régime doit savoir, c'est qu'ils le savent même d'ailleurs, et c'est pourquoi ils continuent à surfer, parce qu'ils n'ont même pas intérêt. Parce qu'en réalité, ils n'ont pas intérêt que cette paix revienne définitivement dans le nord et le sud-ouest. Parce qu'ils savent que pour des raisons, pour des calculs politiques, pour des calculs électoralistes, s'il y a une paix définitive dans la zone nord et sud-est, le RDPC ne peut plus, n'est-ce pas, prétendre un jour avoir même un seul élu là-bas. Qu'est-ce qu'ils font? Parce que si ceux qui sont élus dans la zone au nom du RDPC étaient réellement les leaders d'opinion, étaient des personnes qui incarnaient, n'est-ce pas, qui étaient l'émanation même de la volonté populaire, le problème aurait connu une avancée certaine depuis longtemps. Or, vous avez vu plusieurs fois, avant même la commission Moussongé, la commission Djongouté, il y a eu à l'époque Philémon a lancé Premier ministre qui est descendu, on l'a repoussé, on n'a vu aucun député, aucun maire, aucun élu du RDPC anglophone ne peut parler dans cette zone. Parce que ce n'est pas des personnes qui sont l'émanation réelle du peuple. Parce que c'est des gens qui ont toujours été là par le trucage et le vol électoral. Et donc, du coup, aujourd'hui, venir sortir un décret, dit que le qualifier de leader d'opinion. Je prends l'exemple de le candidat, je le respecte, puisqu'il était candidat à l'élection présidentielle, Ndifo, le pasteur Ndifo. Jusqu'à nos jours, quel Camerounais peut vous dire exactement sa position par rapport à la crise anglophone? Parce que durant la campagne, beaucoup de personnes ont fait des propositions. Moi, à mon titre personnel, je n'ai pas entendu sa voix. Et au lendemain de l'élection, pendant qu'on questionnait, n'est-ce pas, la régularité de cette élection, il était le premier à aller s'asseoir au premier banc et avec son carton d'invitation pour féliciter M. Biel son élection. Et tous on a donc compris que voilà l'anglophone, n'est-ce pas, que le régime avait utilisé pour la circonstance, pour dire voilà, même les anglophones aussi ne prennent pas aux élections au Cameroun. Donc soyons sérieux à un moment donné. On ne peut pas, on ne fabrique pas, on ne décrète pas un leader d'opinion. Ils peuvent décréter leur ministre. Ils ne peuvent pas arrêter par décret, nommer leur ministre, nommer leur sous-préfet et autres. Mais un leader d'opinion, ce n'est pas un décret qui le nomme. C'est quelqu'un qui, de par ses idées, aurait dû, si c'était réellement les leaders d'opinion, au moment où nous parlons, ils auraient déjà eu un impact même sur des séparatistes que nous avons sur le terrain. Parce que certains auraient dit non, comme c'est ce monsieur qui parle, comme c'est cet aîné qui parle, parce que je le connais, je pense que quelque part nous sommes en nous tromper. Donc, ce n'est pas la peine de penser que ce qu'on appelle leader d'opinion. Moi, je dis en dehors le cardinal, parce que c'est le seul qui, depuis dans la démarche, il avait engagé la démarche de All Anglophone Conference, qui consiste à regrouper les anglophones et recueillir leur doléance et essayer de dire voilà ce que les anglophones veulent fondamentalement. Mais malheureusement, on l'a empêché. Aujourd'hui, on va le récuser dans un rôle, n'est-ce pas?
Vous voulez dire que dans le nord-ouest et dans le sud-est, il n'y a pas de leader d'opinion?
Il existe des leaders d'opinion dans le nord et le sud-est. Agbombala, c'est un leader d'opinion. Oui. Mais est-ce qu'il est convié formellement? Est-ce que les leaders d'opinion qui, effectivement, quand la crise avait commencé et qui avaient la maîtrise sur la population avant que les séparatistes ne prennent le dessus, ces leaders d'opinion, qu'est-ce que le régime a fait? Le régime a été toujours constant. C'est-à-dire le régime a tout fait pour déconstruire, pour détruire, n'est-ce pas, dans l'opinion, la position ou alors la personnalité de ces gens qui influençaient sur les autres. Le régime ne veut pas d'un leader d'opinion qu'il ne contrôle pas. Ça ne marche pas comme ça avec le RDPC. Tu es le leader d'opinion, il te contrôle.
Est-ce qu'ils peuvent contrôler son éminence?
Je vous dis donc que classer éminence dans le leader d'opinion, comme ils le disent, c'est un faux débat.
There is this so much talk about those to represent the Anglophones in this dialogue. Many people have a problem with those who are being consulted at this level of pre-talks. Do you find a problem with it? Who are those who, according to you, should be consulted so as to give the best ideas for a successful dialogue?
See, you know, There is a popular saying that if you incarcerate the moderate, you're going to liberate the radicals. This is what has happened in Cameroon. I will still quote Agbobala, my colleague, when he talked about Agbobala. This problem started, we had a consortium and we had some people who were at the forefront. Okay, these guys were incarcerated and locked up, and then the radicals took over. Now, we are back into this problem again. It has gone into another stage. And now we come with this dialogue that everybody has been looking for until they've talked of dialogue until now the president has called for dialogue. And you want to dialogue with some people that have some real deep grudge against the government, against the regime. As we've been talking here, I think the grudge is against the regime. Now, you, as I said, opinion leaders, come to the Southwest, come to the Northwest. Look for those opinion leaders. You don't sit in Yaoundé and you can identify the opinion leaders you think you know in
Do they really need to go to the Northwest and Southwest to know who commands
It's not influence? A matter of commanding. You know, an opinion leader must not actually command. You know, I don't think that's we should relate those two words as somebody who commands. Okay, we've been in this panel and then we've been talking here. I want to credit my colleague here, the apostle. The reactions have come. People have been talking. You can identify people who can bring out something and who can contribute something. Now, the Prime Minister made a tour before. Prior to this dialogue, I think he went for a tour around. He must have met people. There were elections. Let's go back right down to 2013, before this crisis started, before 2016. He must have known those who were coming out, who had the opinions. In 2016, when this thing started, people were talking, people were coming up with propositions. These are the kind of consultations you need to do. The cardinal was trying to call for a conference. What was that supposed to do? Was supposed to gather all these informations so that they can bring it on a dialogue table. But you give a dialogue on the 10th of September, and then you give it about 2 weeks to rally people that are going to talk. In 2 weeks, I don't even think it's enough time for you to know who can really contribute positively to this dialogue. First of all, that's my problem. The timing is really small. It's really short. Then secondly, if it's not about the timing, the way, the how. See, there's a why and there is a how. The how that they are going about to get the people who are going to be on the dialogue. The modus operandi, I don't know if they can really show anybody what they did to be able to say A will be at the dialogue, B will not be at the dialogue. You know, now because of the people you call, it's going to also determine the content.
You cannot also carry the entire nation to Yaoundé.
It's not a matter of the entire nation. It's not a matter of the entire nation. You see, there are groups of people. All right. Okay. Let's take an example.
Who, according to you, has been sidelined so far? Because what we are talking about for now has to do with the pre-talks. This is not the dialogue proper.
What is the dialogue then?
No, the dialogue is coming from the 30th to the 4th.
The pre-talks,
October.
Okay. The pre-talks automatically shows who are going to dialogue. Now, let me say this.
My question, what I want you are going to, let me add my question to you is, what is fundamentally wrong with these pre-consultations?
What is wrong because the stakeholders, the people who are needed to dialogue with, they've been neglected.
Okay.
Take an example. They have opened up the table. Everybody can come up, bring your propositions. Okay. I read keenly the proposition that the SDF made. Okay, that was a proposition for some opinion leaders. At the SDF, you cannot dispute the fact that they have their opinion leaders. They've proven that, all through these years. They sit down, they bring propositions, and I don't know how far, maybe I'm not well informed, but I can bet that more than 3/4 of their positions were pushed away. Okay, these are people who are supposed to be opinion leaders that have come up. MRC has also come with their own propositions. Yes, individuals have written. But the Prime Minister, I think there's even a link for people to send in their propositions. Okay, from those, even though the timing, I think the time is short, but from those you can know who are the opinion leaders and what kind of propositions they are bringing on the table, because they know the problem that Cameroon is facing. Now they can see what kind of proposals, and if they are genuinely they have a genuine intention to solve this problem, then they should look at every proposition that comes on the table without preconditions.
But now, these pre-consultations, the SDF has made its position known. The CRM deposited their memo today, and then others have been consulted. What was the essence of the Bilingualism Commission going to the Northwest and the Southwest region? What was the essence of the Prime Minister? He went to the Northwest region. He did met with almost everybody, went to the Southwest, met with almost everybody. And now, what are they consulting for now?
My problem is all these commissions. Disarmament Commission, failed. Multiculturalism Commission, failed. Commission, all these commissions are not working.
Yeah, but what information are they looking out for now that the Bilingualism Commission that visited the Northwest and Southwest, that the Prime Minister visited the Northwest and Southwest did not get?
From who? Who is looking what?
No, my question is that
yes,
the Prime Minister is now receiving delegations to collect information.
Yes.
Okay. But we know that the Bilingualism Commission went to the Northwest, went to the Southwest, and met with the key stakeholders. Yes. The Prime Minister himself went to the Northwest and met with the key stakeholders and got what was the problem. Now, these pre-consultations, what are they getting from the
me, what I want to understand, I believe these pre-consultations are trying to do is that they want to find the popular opinion. What I'm saying is this.
That is going to be different from what they gathered from the field when they went down there?
Obviously, because when they went to the field, they met a few persons. They want to find out what the masses hold as an opinion. Is it federalism? Is it decentralization? Is it secession? In between those three, when they judge it and see where the population gathers more, from there they can be able to make out a solution to it. These people are trying to tap into the minds of the population to find out what they may take as a half-baked cake. I put it that way. Half-baked cake, contrary to what they are looking for. Because they know they want secession. Now they don't want to give secession. Is there some other idea which is a sub-idea that can be accepted? So the consultation is to find out what the SDF thinks, what the MRC thinks, what the secessionists think. Is there something out of secession? If there is something else, then we can prefer to accept what is out of secession, because we do not want the country to scatter. And I think where they are going to right now is to find out if even the secessionists can accept federalism. Federalism in what terms? Not in the terms of breaking Northwest and Southwest, but federalism of breaking down the 10 regions of Cameroon and every state becoming independent and having a governor.
See, I just remembered something. You asked a question, who has been sidelined? And then one of the messages that you read, somebody was asking about who is the Anglophone leader, that they have many factions and all of that. I just had a throwback. You know, before they had the Cinquantenaire, there was some meeting in the University of Boya, and then it was like a dialogue. You know, people were coming up.
The colloquium.
Colloquium, and that's the word, yeah. There was a colloquium. I can remember vividly when Molanjo Litumbe came up. Molanjo Litumbe made, his statement, and then when he was, his outing that day, came up so much in the Anglophone problem we are facing today. For so many years, that is somebody who has been repeatedly, and then until he had a house arrest for how many years, talking about the problem in which we are today. I don't know if Ujoli Tumbe is one of the people that have been invited for this dialogue. Because talking about people who were thinking that Cameroon has a problem with Anglophones being marginalized, with the state and all of that, that is somebody I think you should bring in this dialogue table. He is going to tell you what he has been thinking and he has been saying all these years. And then the government is going to give his own position to that. So if somebody has been sidelined, opinion leaders, as we've said, Molanjo Litumbe should be one of the people who are supposed to be there.
Okay. I'm sure he will talk about Njumba married.
Well, I think he has.
Good evening to all in the studio. This is Banmi in Chang. Please, John Gute will not let's join hand and be strong in prayer, because God is about to do something. Okay. Messages keep confusing. Good evening. We must not expect a miracle from the dialogue. Any sincere dialogue is marked by humility, sincerity, compromise, sacrifices, and the ability to accept that your argument may not win at the end of the day. Whether we like it or not, the Anglophone crisis has been perpetual because of Ayuk Tabe's influence. He is an influential leader. Whether we like it or not, no matter how many other side leaders, his sentencing has grounded this region for weeks. We need to face the bitter facts. Would negotiating with whoever gets boys out of the bushes and a return to normalcy. Sir Mario is writing from Yaoundé. Diaspora have many leaders who do you want Biya to dialogue with. People are dying. We need peace. Joe is writing from Tiko Noko. Noko Joshua, writing from Douala, says, good evening, house. Here is the national dialogue. Now, Gabon and Brazil are about to play a decisive World Cup qualifier with the officiating referee and linesmen all from Brazil nationality. The football encounter will hold in Brazil with no FIFA officials officiating, even from the shadows. FIFA, however, has already endorsed the match details and encouraged Gabon to fully participate in the encounter, while promising the whole football world that the encounter would be free and fair and its results would be validated, even though Gabon's best 11 professional squad is banned by the Brazilian football team. Noko, your message is gotten. Good evening to you from Douala, Cameroon's economic capital. This one says, good evening. I think the dialogue is really a trap for Dr. John Guti, because the destiny of the Southern Cameroonians lies in the hands of the Prime Minister. That trap that the beer is really too big for Mr. that the cap that the President wears is too big for the Prime Minister. Good evening to you all. I think Mr. President is not serious about the dialogue, because if he was, he would have released Ayuk Tabe and co. And I equally think if people from the diaspora and to be convinced it should be President Ayuk Tabe. This is Dapi writing from Cape Town. Good evening. I think that the dialogue is really a trap for Mr. John Gute, okay? God is the dialogue of Cameroon crisis. Nangana wisdom. Don't know what your message is. From James from Kumba, all the Amber boys have to be present at the dialogue. Good evening in the studio. But I'm sure provision is made for armed groups. Good evening to you all in the studio. I like the way the man of God is talking. Anglophone should learn how to speak the truth. Emma is writing from Kumba. Hi, gentlemen. Let's Mola Litumbe from Boya in this program before the dialogue date. Ngoe P. Boya wrote, okay. It seems as if Molanjo Litumbe is not in the country. Good evening to the house. All the people that don't want the dialogue are the people supporting this crisis. I guess they want to remain in it than to go with the dialogue and solve the problem. Hi to you all in the studio. If the president truly wants to solve this crisis, he should bring in the foreign third party to mediate in the dialogue process and bring in the separatists in the dialogue table. By Mr. Frank Tanga, writing from Boya. Now, we are talking about those who are supposed to take part and the subjects. Now, if the Prime Minister is consulting people, and then he went to Bamenda and Boya and Kumba to consult with people, the Bilingualism Commission also has been there. But seemingly, there is already a program which will have to talk on bilingualism, cultural diversity, the educational system. Donc, c'est déjà fait.
Exact. Et donc, vous voyez que après toutes ces consultations, comme je l'ai dit tout à l'heure, après ces consultations, la commission Moussongué, Djongouté, notre Philemon et autres aujourd'hui, et vous voyez dans le truc du président Biya, il dit, il cite tous des sujets à l'ordre du jour, mais il ne vous parle pas de la forme de l'État. Pourtant, nous savons tous qu'effectivement, le problème qui s'oppose, c'est la forme de l'État et rien d'autre. Et donc, ce que nous disons en tant que parti politique d'opposition, au sein du MS et au regard de nos années, connaissant comment ce régime fonctionne, en réalité, nous sommes là dans une pièce de théâtre où le chef bandit veut simplement gagner en temps. Il sait que quel que soit l'âme, l'acteur va finir par l'achever, mais il faut gagner un peu en temps. Donc, c'est juste des gains de temps pour perdre et continuer à perdre le temps et à justifier. Parce qu'aujourd'hui, ce que nous observons là et ce que nous voyons, c'est qu'effectivement, la pression internationale et la pression interne, n'est-ce pas, qui a poussé ce régime à accéder. Et aujourd'hui, nous voyons tout ce qu'ils posent. Ils savent très bien, parce qu'ils connaissent le fond du problème, ils savent très bien que ça va simplement être encore des motifs supplémentaires pour que certaines personnes, ou alors ceux de ces petits copains qui vont convenir autour de la table, certains vont dire non, sur tel aspect, ils vont encore vous dire non, les sujets. Je peux vous rassurer une chose, sans être dans le secret de Dieu, mais connaissant comment ce régime opère, alors vous verrez que le processus qui est mis en place, ça va encore prendre au moins 2 ans. C'est-à-dire qu'à un moment donné, vous allez voir, on va dire non, pour X ou Y raison, parce que l'autre sujet, on avait mal abordé, parce que l'autre sujet ne devrait pas être là, on va le prolonger encore de 6 mois, de 8 mois, de 1 an. L'objectif pour eux, c'est de gagner en temps. En espérant que, parce que la politique machiavélique qu'on utilise ici, c'est quoi? Lorsque le problème est posé et qu'il est chaud, et qu'il est urgent d'apporter une solution, alors il faut casser la dynamique et laisser pourrir la situation, sachant que plus le temps va passer, à un moment, les énergies vont baisser et le problème ne sera pas réglé. Aujourd'hui, nous disons simplement que les Camerounais doivent se mobiliser comme un seul homme, parce que nous voulons tous le dialogue et nous voulons tous la paix. Ne laissons pas ce régime, n'est-ce pas, gagner encore en temps pour que 2-3 ans plus tard, on se retrouve encore au point de départ.
Okay, bilingualism is going to be on the table, decentralization, cultural diversity, and a host of others. Is that what you are expecting? Because I should also note that you're a politician. Are these the topics or subjects that you were expecting to see at the table of the dialogue?
It's something like decentralization. This thing had been, it's 23 years now that they had voted a bill for decentralization since 1996. And as he's saying, you vote a bill, it's after 23 years after you are coming on a dialogue table to talk about it again. So the implementation of whatever is going to come out from this dialogue is what poses a problem to me. So now all the topics that are there, the main issue, which has not been touched, is the form of the state. I still think that the real fundamental problem of all of this has to touch the form of the state. Go back to a little history. Okay, everybody is going on a dialogue now, and then they are going to go to where is it in Yaoundé again? It's
Congress Hall.
Congress Hall, sorry. Now,
4 hotels are going to be hosting the delegates.
Exactly like what happened in 1961, the Fumban Conference. We had two states, let me say 2 countries, because we were being colonized by the British and the French, who came up and decided after a referendum, after a plebiscite, decided to come together as one. Now, these 2 people came up to have a dialogue to discuss on how they are going to live together, as they call vivre ensemble in French. Yes. So these guys sat down and then they came up with a constitution. That constitution is what was supposed to bind these people, talking about the country as a federal state. There is an article in that constitution that rejects any modification of the form of the state, which was the federal state at that time. Now, if the country has gone to until violating that constitution in 1972 and then coming up in 1984 to still bring back a nomenclature, then the people have been eradicating since then, and then it has gotten to the point where it is now a war and it's killing. And then you bring up all the dialogue topics without excluding the root cause, as we say, excluding that root cause. I mean, I don't see how it's going to, after this dialogue, no matter how good, how flamboyant it's going to look, they are going to bring, people are going to be multicultural because people are going to be educated in the agriculture and the legal system and all of that. But that's not the problem.
Okay, very briefly, man of God, dialogue is a good idea, but they should release those in the prison. If not, they will not agree the final term. Please, people are dying. We the Southwest and Northwest are suffering under those who claim to fight for us. Please, we want peace because we don't know where our destiny has gone to. Namondo, writing from Mutengene. Good evening, man of God. You are making a sense. Very briefly, decentralization has been a key issue. Is this time to fix it?
What is decentralization in the first place? What's decentralization? Because we have to be defining these terms before we start getting into finding out if they are necessary or not. Because I think the challenge we have right now is not decentralization. I have said that government should not be giving headache medicine to leg pain. They should face it. We are in Africa. We've had other revolutions. There is a Mozambican president, Alberto Chisano, who came to power in 1986 and then ruled till 2005. For all these years, Mozambique had a rebel crisis. That man was able to curb the crisis without any bloodshed because he brought the rebel, he recognized the source of the challenge, brought them on the table. Whether they are insignificant or hoodlums or drug consumers or bastards, you may call them, they are the ones causing the problem. We have to be sincere. Chisano brought them on the table. Right now, as I'm talking to you in Sudan, the new appointed Prime Minister, Abdallah Hamdok, who is the one who has taken a transition power for 3 years, has gone to deliberate with the rebels. You go to Colombia, the rebels were brought to discussion. Whether you call them rebels, they are the one causing us the headache. Keep your rank, your reputation, your position, your pride aside and face these guys. Now they give you headache.
Okay. Now then they give you headache. Please, let them give me 2 minutes to read some messages. Good evening. I like the way the prophet spoke, for the truth is bitter but must be spoken. Luis is writing from Kumba. Good evening to you all in the studio. It is time for all Anglophones to come together as one in order to create an impact to this golden opportunity given to us, because the more we withdraw from the dialogue, the more the government gets an upper hand over us. I'm Ayuk, writing from Limbe. Good evening to you all. This is Mr. Kum from Limbe. Why is it that 80% of the people consulted by the Prime Minister are Francophones and mostly CPDM members? Meanwhile, the dialogue mainly concerns Anglophone. It should be worthy of note. Cameroon is made up of Good evening to all of you out there. I watched the video and cried and asked myself, God, where are you? We see blood every day. We lost dear ones every day. For how long shall we continue to live like this? If nothing is done quickly, then we are going to see more horrible things in the days ahead. God help us. Nkwenti Moses, writing from Douala. Nathan from Boya, nice program, Kum, but how can we succeed in a country controlled by occultism? I don't know what parameter you are using to say that. Catch Emilian from Boya. Good evening in the house. Mr. Bia is not ready for dialogue because there are still people under his keeping. I think the dialogue holds unless he, he clears his house. Okay. Good evening, sirs. I think for a serious dialogue to take place, let Mr. Bia release all the politician prisoners and call for ceasefire. Afanya Elvis from Yaoundé. We have to end at this juncture. Monsieur Aslam, merci d'être venu.
Merci. Merci vivement que la position du MRC, le mémorandum, soit entendu, que enfin le Premier ministre, s'il peut dire à M. Biya, effectivement, d'écouter, de libérer les prisonniers politiques sans exception, tous les prisonniers politiques, appeler au cessez-le-feu, n'est-ce pas, appeler au cessez-le-feu et pacifier toute la zone anglophone, n'est-ce pas, et appeler les observateurs internationaux, les partenaires, comme on l'a fait dans le cas de Bakassi. Souvenez-vous, c'est des partenaires internationaux qui avaient permis au Cameroun de récupérer notre territoire. Donc on peut faire appel à ces partenaires parce que ce sont nos amis, et surtout un médiateur, parce que dans cette affaire, il faut absolument un médiateur neutre. Parce que Diongouté, on l'a démontré sur ce plateau, et beaucoup de gens ont écrit, beaucoup ont envoyé des messages dans ce sens. Diongouté ne peut pas être le médiateur dans cette affaire parce qu'il est parti pris. Il est partisan de ce qui se passe. Donc, vivement que les Camerounais se lèvent et mettre de la pression sur le gouvernement pour que les choses se passent de manière pacifique.
Okay, Mr. Rudolph, thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for inviting me, and we just hope sincerely that whatever contributions we've made here, everybody in the studio and everybody in Cameroon is looking for peace. So whatever contributions we've made here, it's I mean, our own little widow smile that we can give, and we hope that the government will have a listening ear. And Prime Minister John Gute, we wish you all the best, and we hope that it's going to go all well.
The Apostle, thank you for coming.
Thank you, Sakum. Thank you, televiewers. We are not talking because we have bitterness or grief. I know there are government officials watching us. We are Cameroonians who have goodwill and we have good intentions for this country. We are outrightly speaking so that things will be amended so that the whole country can keep moving forward. We are tired of the stress, the trauma, the tragedies that are going around us. So we beg and we beg again. Something should be done to end this calamity that has besieged our nation. Thank you very much.
Okay, we say thank you to you, Desmond, to you, Eli, and to Corinne, who should be at the broadcasting, and to you, Tambe Brian, who is supervising what we are doing from wherever you are. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.